Don't forget she was also your mom. What'd you do to it? Nothing. I had a nasty fall in one of my landings. I see. What is it?
I have news for you.
Jeez, damn. Elaine, is it good news or bad? Which is it, Gus?
I don't know. Things are gonna change from now on for this family.
Hey, Joni.
Two bionic athletes competing.
I'm trying to edit this thing. How are you? I haven't been here in a while. Oh my gosh. Probably gonna start reading soon, but not today. Hey, Russell. Or maybe I should. I don't know.
Hey, take a picture, Gus. Are you kidding me? Seriously, man, come on. Come on, man. Do I have to? Of course.
We can talk about anything. Noah, I don't know who you are. What do you want to talk about, Noah? Type what you want to talk about in the comment section and then I'll let you in. I'm doing good, Russell. How was your day?
Okay, what's it going to do?
Miss June. Let's talk about... That's great, I'm glad. How do I change the title of this live? Activity. I don't know. Don't know how to do it. All right, the days and times that we are in. Let's talk about anything.
Hey, Pop. This has never been a team sport, and you know that.
How do I do this? Comment? No, that's not it.
Might be a team sport with some
You an athlete like the rest of the family?
Never my plan. I was never good at sports. Too many stars in the family already.
I want to talk about aliens and the new world that we're in, but can't seem to change the title. Or maybe I should just start reading the knowledge book. Maybe I will. There's a lot happening. What kind of filter is this nonsense? That's better. There's a lot happening in this world. The timelines are converging. We are being pushed upwards while others are being pushed downwards. 3D versus 5D. Then there's the in-betweeners on the 4D. Three-dimensional has a lot to do with negative thinking, negative mindset, anxiety, depression, all the low frequency stuff that has people in a bottleneck. Three-dimensional has everything to do with worrying. You have to understand that all of this is not real. And a lot of people ask me, wait, if it's not real, what do you mean it's not real? We're here, we're going to work, we're paying bills, it's real. Okay, if it's real, when you die, you should be able to take all those bills and things with you to the other side. You should be able to take the mansions with you to the other side. But you don't. You don't even take your body to the other side. None of it is real. So then if it's not real, and you don't get to take it when you're leaving Earth, then why are we so caught up in this? Why do we allow ourselves to be so burdened and beaten down by this illusion, this matrix? Well, it's a matter of the mind and the programming. From young, we're programmed. You got to go to school. You got to get a job. You gotta maybe buy a house, rent. You got to pay bills, and you got to achieve a certain status, and you have to be a certain class, and you know, you have to get this degree, and that makes you more of an important person. All of that is fabrication, because you're already an important person. In fact, you're even more important when you're born and you're innocent and you're fresh onto this planet, because your third eye is not calcified and you're tuned into so many different dimensions. And you visit other dimensions and other realms and other beings, and they visit you. You see, when the baby's lying down and the baby's just smiling and giggling, especially when they're just born, you see their eyes roll and turn, and they just be like smiling at things that you don't see, because only their body is here. They're freaking having an adventure everywhere else. Right? It is when they become more conscious in this place and they start getting programmed that everything becomes so-called real here. But just as you came as a soul into a vessel, and you leave the vessel and get out as a soul again, this is how you know that none of this is real. Okay? So then the question goes to be asked, who are you? Are you Russell? Well, Russell is the body, because your mother and father named the body Russell. Right? So then, who lives inside Russell? Well, the mind is operating the Russell. But who controls the mind of Russell? And that is you in the Omni. That is you, Manaya. That is you in the Omni. There is the you here. There is the mind. There's a body. There's the mind, right? Then there is the one that is controlling all of this. That is controlling all of this. You have to start viewing your life as a third party. The Omni that I talk about, the omnipresent. You have to start viewing your life from that perspective. And then it all makes sense. You would not feel depressed and have anxiety and stressors if you get out of the body and the mind and stand over here. Then you can direct this character that you've created in this game called Earth, 3D Earth. You can direct it on how to be, how to think, and how to act. So it's just like a video game. When you create a video game and you select a character in the game, you control the character. Right? That's the mind. The mind controls the character. Then you have to go beyond that and find out who created the mind and the programming for it to connect to the character in the game. Once you get out of there, when you get over there, it becomes so much more simpler. There's a saying in my language that the one who is cutting the road or the grass, or the one who's clearing the path, does not know that they are making a curve rather than a straight line. Meaning that if you're operating as a character, you really don't know what you're doing. You have to get out You have to understand that you are the programmer of this entire shit show. You're a sovereign being. You are a particle of the universe. And your entire planet also is nothing but a speck of dust in comparison to just our universe alone, let alone all the other. There's a place where we call infinite, infinity and beyond. Well, infinity is also a time measurement, a space and time measurement in a sort. There's a place where infinity also ends and there's no more infinity. There's a place where infinity means infinity and there's no more infinity. That infinity that we cannot even comprehend how vast it is, it also has an end. And you are particles of beyond the infinities. And that's how special you are. Don't allow yourself to be boggled down by the programs of the Matrix. It's only temporary. A lot of people are afraid to die. But you die from one dimension to come into this dimension. Death is nothing but a transition. If you gain the consciousness of your immortal omni self, you don't die. What we're trying to do in this timeline, the reason why a lot of us came here, is to break the yoke of death for the rest of humanity. Is to be able to live in other timelines and realms consciously as you do on earth. We're trying to get people to comprehend that. Just like you go to sleep, your body goes into a stasis where it's basically dead because you're not conscious of it. Your consciousness now gets to venture out into other dimensions and you call it dream. No, it is not a dream. When you're asleep on the other realms and you come here and you're conscious and you wake up and you're going to earth, they may also call this one a dream. And this is also not a dream. What I'm trying to say is you exist in multiple places. There are people that have wives and children in other dimensions, and when they go to sleep here, they go there consciously and handle their business there. And when it's time for them to sleep there, they come here consciously and handle their business there. They have no fear of death whatsoever. There are people with portals in their houses that goes anywhere that they want to go. There are people that can create portals. In my country, there are people that have certain rings and certain ropes and certain enchantments that they say. And if they tap on the wall, they disappear through the wall and go into different places. Our world is a magical place, and some beings are trying to make it concrete, and it is not. Even your body is not concrete. The chair that you're sitting on is not concrete. The bed that I'm on is not concrete. We're just energies interacting with energies. There is nothing concrete here. The body that I have is a dense light particle compact together to make a form. It is light. It is particles of light squished together to make a form. You yourself are not even dense. Nothing is dense. Nothing is concrete. Everything is vibrating. Everything is moving. Everything has frequency. If something is concrete, it cannot have frequency. You can only have frequency if there's a vibration. And everything vibrates, and nothing is concrete. If you're able to vibrate at a frequency of a particular object, you can go through it. And that's why these people are trying to get out of the firmament, and they can't, because they can't vibrate at the frequency of the firmament. And this is why the ascension and awakening is happening, because we are being upgraded to be able to vibrate at the frequency of the firmament, because our earth is being opened up and the firmament is opening up to our earth. But not everybody can get out. You have to vibrate at a particular frequency. So we don't die. Don't be afraid of death. That is a form of control. That's why they sell you these pills, because you're afraid to die. But we don't die. If you gain all your universal consciousness here, and you understand that we don't die, that you can go anywhere you want to go, anytime that you want to go, you can decide to leave your body anytime you want. The human being has such great potential, as said in the knowledge book, that it dies the moment it wants and reborns the moment it wants. That's how powerful we are. But we've lost that knowledge of that power we have. Not lost. We've been programmed and suppressed to not really understand. Hey, Missy. But yeah, this is the place that we're at. It's beautiful times that we're in. And there's a lot that's going to be happening. And there's a lot that's happening. Anyone heard of the Leviathan? Ooh, fun stuff. I seen a video of a man saying all the different countries that are actually the... What is the word? Not mummification. There's a word. Petrified? No. There's a word, like it's been hardened of... So the Chinese zodiac and all the animals are basically the different continents. So the rabbit, the chicken or the rooster, the snake and all that stuff. You can actually see that they're actually land masses that we're living on. They're like titans. Hey, boo.
You know why they keep...
They're titans that have been... I think the word is
The green squares...
petrified. I don't know. They have been hardened or salted to be the land masses that we live on. But there's so much magic on this earth. So much magic. And soon that magic is going to be very much revealed. And the magic has not been hidden. It's just that we've been asleep on it. They tell us in the movies all the time, all these fantasies and fairy tales and all these magical movies. But they make it look like it's something outside of us. But it's right here. We are all magic, literally. We are all stardust. And the sooner all of us come into this consciousness. I was talking to a friend, and he said, we were talking about the Matrix, and he said, if you look at the Matrix, your job is not to destroy the Matrix. Your job is to change the Matrix. Because you have to understand that you are the creator of the Matrix. You created this simulation for you to get a particular form of experience. But you've forgotten that you can create the Matrix or reprogram the Matrix and bend it to your will. You see the part in the Matrix when the little girl bent the spoon and said, the spoon is not bending, you're bending. When you bend, the Matrix bend to you because you are it. You're a creator. You cannot exist on earth and say that you're not part of earth. You know what I mean? Like, how do I say this? Like a leaf from a fruit, and then the leaf saying, I'm not that fruit because I am a leaf and that's the fruit. Just because you're in a different form or shape does not mean that you're not it or the tree. So if you are living here on earth and the earth is 3D program of the Matrix, you are the Matrix. It's the level of consciousness that you are at that either makes the Matrix beat you or you beat it. When Neo realized his full potential, he beat the Matrix. He reprogrammed and reset the Matrix. Energy, frequency, vibration, we are the creators. Exactly, Joni. I did a video the other day. I was talking about how we are creators. Because in the Bible and the Quran, it says, let us go make man in our image and our likeness. So a being or beings who are creators decided to create you. What are you? The apple does not fall far from the tree. If a creator created you, what are you? Are you not also a creator? Are you not fragments of that creator? When you are made in his image and his likeness? When it is his breath that sparks all this to come into fruition? Are you not the creator? Oh, how dumbed down we have become. And like, I'm dealing with like a lot of family members that are 3D, and I realize that they have the lack mentality. And I'm breaking out of the, I actually never had the lack mentality, but then I went through a marriage where I ended up having the lack mentality, and then I came out of it, and then I'm like an upgraded version of my original self because I gained that experience and I extracted the proper experience from it, and I added it to my old self and what I've learned and who I am now, and it's just a whole different thing. But I am surrounded by some family members that have the lack mentality where they're afraid to do certain things. They're afraid to take a trip. They're afraid to set themselves free. They're afraid to just do things for themselves because they're always like saving for a rainy day. And I always tell them, I'm sorry, but I don't create rainy days. Why would I be saving for a rainy day? That's like me saying that I'm expecting a rainy day. I don't expect rainy days. I do what's in my power now that brings the most excitement to me right here, right now. And Source, Creator, the Almighty, the Absolute will provide for me tomorrow. I'm not here to worry about rainy days and all that nonsense. I don't. And I've gotten to this place where nothing happens to me, but rather for me. So I'm really unbothered. I'm unbothered. Like if my car was to break down, oh, well, that means I need some exercise. I'm going to walk to the grocery store and enjoy the fresh air and have some scenery and see trees and humans walking. And I enjoy that. And then when my car comes back online, okay, well, I need to get here faster. My car is here. Let me go. Or maybe I was prevented from getting into an accident. That's why my car decided to shut down. I don't know. All I know is nothing works against me. Everything works for me. For my highest grade. And so I'm just like in this very carefree life. And it's just quite peaceful and harmonious. And I don't know. People have a misconception about the darkness because of the programming. It is as important. Exactly. Now, before, why would the creator need to create light if there was not darkness first? Right? Why would I need light if there was not darkness first? Darkness, according to the knowledge book, is actually the combination of all the colors and sounds. And it is the sound of the Om. And when the Om is spread out, that's when you get all the different frequencies and sounds. And when the darkness is spread out, that's when you get all the colors. And then we come back to Earth and we're talking about the darkness of bad things happen and good things happen. The Chinese, the Eastern religions, they got it down packed. Like you see their yin and a yang symbol. It's exactly that. It's one in the same. Yeah, right? The yin and the yang is literally the duality of all things, the infinite negative and the infinite positive universe. The knowledge book talks about it too. The infinite negative is not evil. It is a state, it is a place, it is a form of existence, just as the infinite positive. And it recycles each other. That's what the infinite sign is about. It goes through each other. The positive is created, then it has to get neutralized in a negative, come back into creation, go back. So it's the nothingness and the allness. We go through the nothingness and the allness. In the nothingness is everything. But at the particles. So the word nothing means no number thing, which means the particles cannot be summed up into a physicality or something that can be obtained or comprehended. It's no number thing. It cannot be summed up. And then there is something. When particles have accumulated enough to become a sum that can be comprehended or perceived. Something, the sum of things. But no number thing is when is the ether that is unmeasurable. It is a source energy that is like the, what is the word? It is the thing that holds even just the lightest particle that we cannot even fathom. It is the thing, the energy that cannot be seen, felt, understood, but is. Where all things are birthed from, but yet you don't even know the source of that nothingness. And you could call that the darkness. And then the light is when things come into existence or creation. So everything is birthed out of the darkness. Even in the womb, we're in triple darkness in the womb. And then we come out into light. Right? Hey, Excalibur. And then we come out into light. Fear is the thing that we must all overcome. We fear the darkness. We fear the unknown. And that is the third eye being closed. And us not being conscious enough of all that is. Because if you know something, then you're no longer afraid of it. Good evening. If you know something, then you're no longer afraid of it. So fear is the unknown. You're afraid of what's going to happen tomorrow. You're afraid if this doesn't go this way. You're afraid of that. You're afraid of this. That thing that you call fear is poison. If you ever wanted to call out somebody or something as Satan, it will be fear and doubt. Cast fear and doubt from your mind. Cast Satan out of your mind. Because there's actually nothing to be afraid of. Fear doesn't even exist outside of Earth. It only exists here. And like I said earlier, the one thing that people are afraid of is death. And death is not real. I told you, people live in other dimensions while they still live on Earth. Beings come in and out of this dimension all the time and go. There are beings that, what is his name? Thought, T-H-O-T. He leaves his body hanging in the house. There are beings that, what is his name? Thought, T-H-O-T. He leaves his body hanging in the house of a minty underneath. I don't know who you are, gift. Sorry. He leaves his body hanging. Love you. If anybody needs to get a hold of Robert, he's on Facebook right now. Oh, is he? Cool. What was I saying? T-H-O-T, thought, leaves his body in the house of a minty, overcoming death, and he takes his consciousness and takes on different avatars and does work on other parts of the planet. He still exists and he takes on different forms all the time. And he to the point where he can even spread his consciousness across more than one avatar. This is the magnificence of the human being. Knowledge suppressed. I won't say forgotten, and I won't say lost, but knowledge suppressed. Everything that exists is knowledge. Knowledge is the Almighty, the Absolute. Because it's the Almighty, the Absolute's expression of itself that all of this comes into fruition. So when you are learning anything, you are learning source. You're learning mathematics. You're learning agriculture. You're learning astrology. You're learning how to have a baby. You're learning anything that you're learning is source. It's source. Because source is the all. Your baby's doing great. She got on her force today, so she's getting ready to crawl. Everything is source. So what don't you know and what are you afraid of? Everything that you know and don't know is literally source. Source is you. You are an expression of source. So what are you afraid of? Yourself? And this is where Maya Angelou's poetry of our deepest fear. Leave the door open.
What?
And leave the light on. Light on. Our deepest fear by Maya Angelou. She says, now I don't remember word for word, but she says our greatest fear or our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate, but rather we are powerful beyond our understanding or our measures. We're afraid to express and know our true potential because, again, 3D Earth is very limiting. He doesn't have a phone? What does he use to go live with? Maybe a laptop? Oh. Okay. He always ends up popping back on sooner or later. I wonder why they keep banning him. It's like every 2 weeks or every week. Ugh. Rob. Okay. So an entirely new number or a new chip? Like a new phone or just a new number?
Why does she have to?
Is the phone like IP address tracked or something, preventing him from coming back?
She doesn't want to. She doesn't. That's why you don't trust strangers.
Okay.
Don't trust them.
Okay.
Really?
The names are inside a briefcase on board.
Okay.
We'll only be able to get to it while it's being transported between the helipad and the vault.
Soon and surely.
She's on the floor. Very limited access.
But yeah. I'm gonna message him on Facebook later.
The distance between the buildings, including the street, is 25.6 meters.
Sounds good, Missy. Thank you.
18.25 meters. It's a huge jump. Look over there. The exact location.
That's another 3D annoyance, right? That we have to deal with.
Get in the building.
I just don't allow myself to be bothered.
But she doesn't want
The distance is impossible.
Okay.
Just do the fucking jump.
like it's so easy.
Yeah, I noticed that with TikTok too. Like,
Try yourself.
I noticed that they be cutting my followings. Like, I can get 10 followers in a day and I'll still be at the same number. I don't even care. I don't even care what they do. Like, the job is done. We got the message out. It's circulating. It's circulating. It's done. So, it's actually faster than I thought it was going to happen. So, I'm grateful. Like last year, we had over 1 billion views on the knowledge book. And then they cleared the whole thing and reset it. And even now, it's like probably like 500 million and counting. Like I checked a few months ago and it was like a 400 and something million. So it's done. It's done. If you reach 1 billion views and there's 7 billion people on the planet and each person definitely know more than 7 people, it's done. No, they can't.
It's just my name.
Oh,
They just
You're buying, wow, over 1,000 accounts in a day. Thank you, Missy. Maybe I should read. If you guys want me to read, let me know. I just wanted to talk about everything and nothing. Read? Reading it is. Give me a minute. It's a good time because my babies are asleep. The younger ones. Gotta get my book. Get my charger. I gotta head downstairs. Let me get my tripod thingy-majiggy. I'm gonna go downstairs and sit on the dining table. All right, I don't know. This filter is weird. How do I get rid of filters? Oops. Oops. Oh, sorry. I forgot about these things. I haven't been live in a minute. All right. Here we are in my kitchen. All right, give me a second, y'all. Oops. Is anybody here? Sharif, what do you want? Why are you following me?
Because I want to.
Okay, now let's see. I don't know how to work this friggin' machine.
There is supposed to be a remote for it.
I know, I have to charge it. I don't even know where I put the charger. It keeps turning.
Wait a minute, if it keeps turning.
Let me see.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, I see it.
You see what?
This is supposed to be like that over here. On this side.
I don't know. I give up.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be like
Wait,
that.
hold on. Let me take
Blipper.
Are you hungry? Why are you down here? Oh my God, I'm gonna break it. Hold on 1 second. Can you open it for me? All right. Are you hungry? Why are you down here? Oh my God, I'm gonna break it. Hold on 1 second. Can you open it for me? All right. That's all you're gonna get. Sorry. Technology's not. All right, let's do it this way. Okay. Now go away.
No.
It's not even trying to turn. What is
You're
it?
not supposed to use that charger to charge this.
Is it? All right. I need to find the last fascicule I read a year ago.
A year ago?
Fascicule.
Okay, so I'm gonna...
It's okay. It's okay. Don't touch it. It's gonna get worse. Go, go, go.
I'm gonna do that.
Stop shooting. Fascicule 29. I wasn't quite there.
Ouch.
And 5. Can you stop?
Me?
Yeah.
Doing what?
Choo choo choo, choo choo choo, choo choo choo. 23. All right, Fascicule 23. Wait, what's going on with Cooper Johnston? Going through trials and tribulations, my friend. It is necessary. Absolutely. And you're in control of it too. I realize that the faster I learn my lesson, the faster I get to go to my next stage. Like I literally told Source, I said, I'm done. I'm done with the lessons. I understood what I came here for, and that was to transmute certain things. And in order to transmute it, I had to know what it felt like. And boy, does it friggin' hurt. I remember the day I cried in my car. What? I cried the whole night. I don't think I've ever cried that much. And it was like a cry of all the universes, but it was a period of transmuting all the things that people go through on earth. And I had so much more revelations after that. And that's when I told Source, I think I'm good. I don't need any more. Now I just want to live a happy life. I've done my share. Okay. 1987, 5th month, Fascicule 23. General message. Is my voice okay? All right, let me... Oh, fuckity heck. Nope. Okay. Our friends, we have transcended the century of miracles. We have attained cognizance. Now we have started the transition of cognizance beyond the universe. Do you understand that? They have started transition of cognizance beyond the universe. This is knowledge beyond the universe. Jeez, who keeps trying to come on? In the plans beyond the moral realms, far away from matter, there is no such thing as applied science and learning. Learning mechanism ends here. From now on, gradually, we will try to transmit to you the knowledge your level of awareness is not able to grasp. However, before that, it is imperative that you should attain the consciousness of what all these efforts are. The supreme utterances given from the Supreme Court of Allah are each a means of accelerating your preparation for a very advanced plan. However, to be able to transcend this consciousness is only possible by the ability of cognizance to attain logic and by possessing a supreme awareness besides this ordinance. So we need to attain logic and supreme awareness. Passing to realms beyond all the realms, cosmos, and limitless boundaries is not as easy as it is presumed. And to attain cognizance of this awareness means to be able to attain the awareness of the entire ordinance. I still haven't really grasped the entire ordinance. I just know the unified human reality. I just understand that the earth now has been upgraded to be part of the councils of, or like to be part of the decision making in the universe, day-to-day goings or eon to eon goings, however time measurements that exist. There cannot be any reason without intention. Each thought is the key of a path that will be opened. Each thought is a key of a path that will be opened. You see why I keep talking about be a conscious thinker? Like, be in control of your thoughts. Do not allow your thoughts to just spew. Do not allow projections. Because remember, you're an antenna, eh? You're a receptor. You're a transmitter and a receptor, right? You can be receiving someone else's transmission to you, right? You can be receiving it, right? And you can also transmit that out if you don't watch, is this my thought? That's why a lot of people end up in a very depressive state, because something is transmitting to them and it may not be a positive one. The only person that you should be connected to is your higher self, right? Your essence self, the purest form of you, right? But there cannot be any reason without any intention. Each thought is the key of the path that will be open. So focus on your thoughts. Focus on the path that you want open to you. Do not be thinking any other paths that's going to cause any friggin' emotional distress to you. Focus on the path. Focus on the path that you want to be open to you and think of that, because that is the key. You think it happens because you are the mind. You are the creator, like I keep saying. So be conscious thinkers. Okay. There are such different views in the advanced evolvement plans that if we relayed these views to you, all the habitual beliefs you have had until today would be upset. For this reason, an ordinance of graduation has always been felt necessary, both in the evolvement plan and in the level of knowledge. Each knowledge given prepares a basis for knowledge that will be given in the future. Just like all the different prophets came and laid a foundation and upper up and upper up and upper up until we got to the fourth order. First, the most minimum of this knowledge is taken in hand. Later, gradually, it is disclosed. By this means, one acts loyally to the system of the ordinance of graduation. We have attained the certitude that mentioning the orders far beyond the divine order will be a detrimental factor for your present evolvement level. Therefore, we give such knowledge only to those consciousness who have completed their evolution levels, evolvement levels. For this reason, consciousnesses who attained awareness in accordance with the accelerated evolution ordinance are being sent to focal points where this knowledge is found. Pay attention to where they send you. Pay attention to what pops up in your feed that resides within you. These energy transfers are for preparing you for the knowledge of more advanced plans. The entire ordinance presents a law of equilibrium. The goal is to apply the ordinance to the medium without impairing the equilibrium. So they do everything in doses. For this reason, first of all, religious mediums and religious themes have been taken in hand. This is a period of transition. The awakening ordinance of the religious plan occurs very quickly. However, conservatism is an obstacle for the progress of this medium. For this reason, many emissaries of the divine plan are assisting you. The application of the plan is the threshold of the golden age. First, religious consciousness, then universal awareness. The entire ordinance is acting on this path. Love to you from beyond realms, the presence of which are not known. Goodbye for now. Be merciful. And that was from Star. Going to and through the void. Oh, yeah. History of evolution. The applied system of the unified reality is unifying all the universal points. You hear that? You can never achieve this unification individually. That which administers the ordinance of all the realms is the focal point. It is working together with the order establishing mechanism of the divine plan. The application of the plan has been present since time immemorial. However, it does not take into effect the direct application field unless the public consciousness reaches a certain level. When the public consciousness reaches a certain level by the progresses it achieves, the plan connects with that society. Only then is the awareness of the entire ordinance projected on you. This is why we have to get everybody to that level. I believe that we've reached the threshold. I believe that we reached the threshold. We really have. It's like a tipping point. You know, like you're trying to roll the thing. And the moment he was able to do the one roll, that is like do. I believe we did that one roll. Because everything is just like, people are just coming in and just like waking up and just like, I never believed this before, but now I do. And it's happening pretty fast. All right. The preeminent ones of the preeminent mechanism who project the divine ordinance of the divine periods are the pillars of the entire cosmos. The system is obliged to introduce to you this power first. For this power is the power of natural consciousness, and it constitutes the essence of the energy that brought you into existence. natural consciousness. For this reason, first, the system introduces you to yourselves. By this means, one attains universal awareness. Otherwise, you can never attain universal consciousness. It is so difficult. So it's religious consciousness, then universal awareness, then universal consciousness. It is so difficult for a human to know his or her essence that the system has investigated the means by which a human can attain this consciousness in the quickest way possible since time immemorial. And in different periods of time, it has taken into effect many operations by different methods. First of all, free will, reflecting through the essence of the divine plan, came into effect. When the system did not give the desired results later, the divine knowledge of the plan was taken into effect in the clearest form. When the system did not give the desired results either, care was taken for the continuation of the origin of the race and for the genes not to become impaired. So first they gave free will, didn't work out so well. Then divine knowledge, which was like the religious thingy-majiggies, came into effect. That didn't give the best results as they wanted. And then they said care was taken for the continuation of the origin of the race and for the genes not to become impaired. The natural degenerations resulted by the system led us to the application of a quite different system. Number 4. By this new system, natural transfers between genes were started. By applying certain natural cosmic engraftments to the consciousness levels of these natural transfers, the divine plan took into effect the application of a training and educative plan all over again. So then they had to like kind of sprinkle some kind of like ascended master gene on us, engraftments, like put some energies of like higher dimensions. Since this ancient knowledge, by this means the ancient book of the history of religions was introduced to you. Since this ancient knowledge, that is the tablet of God's decrees, is a source of knowledge that the human consciousness cannot grasp, you were taken into a teaching plan only through their summaries. And these are your religious books. They're like watered down version, very watered down version of this one source book called the Tablet of God's Decree, where all the universal codes and rules and regulations exist. And this knowledge book is the most matured version of that the earth is able to comprehend. And the knowledge book is also watered down because you cannot compare that. But even the knowledge book is holding a higher frequency to get us to this level where we can even come close to comprehending what is in the tablets of God's decree. When no benefit was obtained even through the system, 5, the decision of putting the plans of historical sons into the application field was taken. Historical sons. I believe that means the prophets. And by this means, your sacred books was dictated by celestial commands. The resonances of the letter and sound frequencies of these sacred books caused great changes in your consciousness forms, and your thought frequencies began to rise. By this means, a unification desired by the plan was obtained for the first time, and a system that proceeded on this path was put in the application field. The human project. All right. The beginning of this system was started on your planet officially by our light friend Moses. But before that, this system had taken your planet under supervision by special contacts as a period of training in the application field of the plan as it is now. But yeah, people stop trying to come live, bro. Sorry, family. All right, where was I? Can you stop making noise? I don't know why you're coming downstairs. It's 12. Why are you coming downstairs? Okay, why are you coming downstairs? Huh? There's water in my closet. Go up. Nobody should come downstairs. Only afterwards, these periods projected on your planet by different durations, much knowledge as celestial knowledge and celestial commands in accordance with the receptive powers of the consciousness levels and thought frequencies. A. Celestial knowledge was sown within consciousnesses. B. Celestial commands were revealed through books. The Far East has awakened by the knowledge sown within consciousnesses. And those who got in contact with us first on your planet have been these solar friends of ours. If your planet had been awakened as a whole by these consciousness seeds, the 4 books comprising the celestial commands and the knowledge would not have been revealed to you. Then there would not be any need for this knowledge book either. The Dogons and the Incas have made contact with us very easily since they possess the purity of primitive consciousness. Connections with us occur either by advanced evolvement or by pure consciousness. So you're either pure or you advance in your evolvement in order to connect with the ascended brothers and sisters. Our life friend Moses called out to your planet for the first time and officially from the universal plan. Afterwards, you passed to a different system by different gene transfers that were made, the system of the sixes. The evolution ordinance of the plan was taken into effect by this means. I'm still trying to understand why the human beings were created. To eliminate various doubts that have remained in your consciousnesses until today, the Universal Ordinance Council is explaining all the knowledge through Dear Mevlana and is bestowing it on you as the knowledge book. It is presented for your knowledge, Council. I think I've only done like 2 pages. Our friends, in this system, the emissaries of the divine plan who reach up to the preeminent rank of our Lord are always kept frozen as a final. Moses is on Terra. Yeah, Moses on Terra as a final gene. However, the first of the energies of the spiritual plan that came into existence at the same time with the initial existence of the universe has been kept here as the essence gene for periods amounting to more than billions of years. However, the first of the energies of the spiritual plan that came into existence at the same time with the initial existence of the universe. So this particular gene came into existence at the same time as the universe, has been kept here as the essence gene for periods amounting to more than billions of years. We call these essence genes the noble genes. They are approximately equivalent to the age of your planet. So our planet is not 6,000 years old. It's billions. Billions of years. Because it says we call these genes, these essence genes, the noble genes, they are approximately equivalent to the age of your planet. So if you want to know how old our Earth is, billions of years. These noble genes have attained a whole by being unified with the genes of their final evolution cycle. The supreme consciousnesses of these wholes who are on your planet at the moment are locked in their essence consciousnesses, since they have to carry a consciousness equivalent to the dimensional frequency of your planet. So they've been like to fit into. Okay, now you are being prepared so that you will not return to the lower plans anymore after this period that is accepted as the final age. Okay, because now we are accepting you together with your family mediums into our universes. Oh my days. What? TikTok asked me to verify. I don't know what TikTok is doing. It gave me like a puzzle piece and you have to slide to fit the puzzle. Never seen that one before. All right. So because now we are accepting you together with your family mediums into other universes. With the same body, the same consciousness, the same essence, and you who will live interminably without being exposed to any other changes will be together with us. The family mediums of those who serve the plan during this final period will be bestowed on them through direct beaming, without being subjected to a period of waiting as a debt to be paid to the missions that they have performed. Our word is the pledge of God. It is beneficial to know this. And that was from Center. Clear knowledge. Our friends, Allah is the root of all energies, a point from which all creation came into existence, whom one cannot reach even through the mental path. All creations came into existence in the process of transformation. Allah rendered humankind the most matured living being as the light of all universes. Here, Allah is the creator. The power of humankind is in its achievement of mentally transcending the dimensions. Mentally. By this means, the findings beyond universes have reached up to your present time. However, the atomic, what is it saying? Invite. Hey, you. However, the atomic whole we call the spiritual potential is a mystery concealing all the knowledge in itself since cosmos came into existence. There is so much to know. It is just fascinating. Like, I'm never going to get bored. I get bored quite easily. But I'm never going to get bored because how to know and comprehend Allah, the all. So many doors to be open. And even one door has billions of doors. Like, such a natural system, such an intricate scheme formed that nothing is lost in the universe. Now we would like to talk to you about far before the orders and technologies. By the research made about times when the living being called a human did not yet come into existence. One enters such periods in which a very advanced technology had been prevalent that at this stage all systems become silent. Before human, there was this advanced technology. Who were the establishers of this technology? Where did they come from? How did they come into existence? Here, all mental activities cease. Since we find numerous universe clusters during the research we make, now we are trying to reach the first of those clusters in our studies. They haven't even reached the first of those clusters. And they're out there. In the meantime, the reason of existence of the living being called a human and us who have come up to here has more or less been determined. As a result of analyzing the energy particles, we are obtaining much different and advanced knowledge. At first, we have arrived at the source of energy and the creative power we have passed to dimensions beyond a technological. At first, we have arrived at the source of the energy and the creative power. We have passed to dimensions beyond it technologically, and by the efforts of your mental activities, many unknown horizons have been discovered. So they're digging into us to find other places. However, the truth is as follows. The root of the energy source passes from the boundary of thought. The root of the Allah energy source passes from the boundary of thought. Now, such a study is continued that a research is being made plane by plane, without skipping anything and without giving the slightest concession, by starting from the base of a pyramid and working up towards its apex. The research you think has ended at the apex of this pyramid is leading you to a much different data. It is never ending. At present, the knowledge obtained through the archives we have is far outside of our knowledge. Holy shit. However, we will solve this too. Now we have attained a conviction. Nothing is single. You're not single. I'm not single. There's other versions of you. Nothing is single. That's cool. However, a whole creates the singleness by comprising everything within itself, the atomic whole. One passes to such dimensions beyond this One passes to such dimensions beyond this that there we possess knowledge about which we cannot talk to you yet. If we accept the measure line between you and us from the viewpoint of knowledge as a measurement from 1 to 100, you can enter only the second centimeter of this measurement. So they're like 98 times more advanced, 98% more advanced, if we're only 2% on the ruler stick. Such knowledge is being received from beyond the spiritual plan, and yet they know nothing. They're 98 steps ahead of us. Yet they don't even know nothing. They're still searching. Such knowledge is being received from beyond the spiritual plan that the thought signals in these energy particles are forcing us to expand like a fan. We call this infinite beyond infinite. At present, we have opened only one of the billions of gates leading there. Only one. Of billions, not billion, only one of billions of gates leading there. Leading there. Okay. Not there, but leading there. And this takes us outside the atomic hole. We have not entered through this gate yet. Leading there. This single open gate and its channel encompass the very advanced dimension of the divine plan and the spiritual mechanism. At the moment, we are in connection with the mechanism of the preeminent spirit that is at the apex of the spiritual plan. By this means, we have started the application of a spiritual technological plan together with our human brothers and sisters. We will share together everything discovered in the universe as much as the brain power can receive. When you reach as far as where we are, we will eat bigger morsels. However, before that, we are obliged to relate to you the knowledge about the human animal universe in accordance with the ordinance of existence. Later, we will disclose the knowledge about the mechanism of lords and its hierarchical order in accordance with your levels of consciousness. It is presented for your knowledge. Center. Universe, animal, human. We will transmit this long message section by section for you to comprehend it better. Section 1. The universe of light is the essence energy focal point of the Lord. The universe of light, that whole big thing, is a focal point, is an essence energy focal point of the Lord. The universe of light is an essence energy focal point of the Lord. Do you understand how big this gets? Genuine humans and all the living beings in the cosmos came into existence through this essence energy. That is the grid, is part of this singular body. Oh yeah, exactly that. Fractals. All these different cells, hair cell, eye cell, pupil cell, skin cell, all these cells are all different consciousness and even different universes and energy pockets on their own. And they all form together to form this whole called the Josephine avatar. And they may not even be conscious that they're part of a whole. They think they're a whole universe on their own. This micro down atom cell, one skin, tiny little skin cell, probably thinks that it's a universe on its own, but it does not recognize that it's part of a whole thing formed to create this avatar called Josephine. That's exactly how our planet is literally like a speck of dust on some other entity's, I don't know, eyelash. Right? Section 1. The universe of light is the essence energy focal point of the Lord. Genuine humans and all the living beings in the cosmos came into existence through this essence energy. By the explosion of the last great sun in the second universe, let us speak in your own terms. By means of the Big Bang, the fireballs that constituted the first universe were scattered around the entire void. However, the immutable ordinance of the atomic structure held them together by the spiral vibrations and prevented their possibility of sliding into the void, and your centrifugal universe came into existence. Transfers started from the second universe to the suns that became crusted during time processes. Transfers started from the second universe to the suns, right, that became crusted during time processes. Remember I said that your light and then this hard thing is actually just light condensed? It literally said the same thing about planets. Suns, light, that became crusted during time processes. We have mentioned this before. Since the third Sirius, that is the Ilona constellations, is the closest gate to the second universe, Friends whom you call Adam and Eve were transferred to the first universe from the second universe from there. We have These friends were the first transfers, and they were sent here as a triple quote. They are Adam, Eve, and Devil, or Devil. 1. Adam is pure energy. 2. Eve is creative power. Devil is bright consciousness. This is a trilogy. Afterwards, many Adams and Eves were transferred from the second universe, and by this means, a group of mythological heroes, gods, and goddesses were constituted. Like, this clarified so much, because I was like, what? There was one guy and a girl, and they had all these babies, and the babies married into each other, and they had more babies. That does make sense, right? Because many more Adams and Eves were transferred. The Adams and Eves, no, they did not split up into different manifestations. Many of them were created. So Adam is a title. Eve is a title, an energy type, an energy archetype. So many more archetypes were created and sent. Godly rules were prepared as the doctrines of these high consciousnesses. By their brain energies, they bring the medium they're in into a level suitable for life. Section 2. Wait. I want you guys to hear this. What are you? You're everything. By their brain energies, they bring the medium they are in to a level suitable for life. By their brain energies, they bring what they need to make this whole thing comfortable for them. Why are we doing that? I keep telling you, we created the matrix. And if it's not working for you, well, reprogram that shit. Section 2. Friends who had come from the second universe brought water into being by condensing the energy in your world that had been selected as the closest planet to Ilona. Yeah. And they used your planet as a laboratory with the technological operations they performed. Clear water, divine light. That is, mud, water, cosmic rays. The three of them becoming unified brought into being the amino acids and the single cell. This single cell was subjected to cosmic energy of a different dimension in the raw laboratory, and cell reproduction was obtained. These reproducing cells multiplied from 1 to 2, from 2 to 4, from 4 to 8, from 8 to 16, from 32 to 64, etc. By this means, an operation was performed on the cells multiplying in accordance with a certain number, and each cell, one by one, separately, was strengthened by the energies of much different dimensions, and different species were brought into being. By engrafting the genes of different dimensions to these species, different animal species came into being. Meanwhile, the life consciousnesses of those animals unified with the universal consciousness and brought into being the grass and vegetation they needed. I keep telling you, man, we created this shit. And the species of these grass and vegetations were multiplied by feeding them with the energies of different dimensions. Energies from the sun, water, and all the other stuff that we don't see are energies from different dimensions. What page? 341. Yeah, we are. Meanwhile, since the atmosphere was not constituted yet, the living beings that were fed with the intense energy of this medium became as big as a small piece of land. The trees reached heights of 500 meters. This energy is the energy of the dimension of immortality. You see, when people try to say, when they say Adam lived for 900 years and Adam was a giant and and people want to like kind of dismiss it. No. And you want to talk about like, the dinosaurs and the dragons. Yeah. They're little version, because we're little versions of Adams and Eves. And the lizards and the crocodiles and the alligators are little versions of the leviathans and the friggin' dinosaurs. Section 3. Meanwhile, our friends who came from the second universe took special precautions to prevent both the trees and the animals from growing in such a way. The living being that had come into existence as a result of certain laboratory studies was perishing after a certain period of time and was being converted into a putrefied transformation. That was the word I was trying to get earlier. I said petrified. These very transformations during the time processes brought into being the oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, helium, and carbon dioxide gases you needed and formed your atmosphere. So these giant thingies, when they putrefy them, all the elements that was released from them formed our atmosphere. Body is land. You are this. All this is you. You're not separate from it. The salt you eat are body parts of giants of the old. The gold are minerals that came out of giants of the old. And they help, and all these elements in the earth helps with the vegetation. That's why you eat from the earth, because your body has the same structure and your body requires the same elements. You are the friggin' earth. This body is, at least, and your spirit is the friggin' universe, and the earth is part of the universe. I mean, how have we ever thought that we were disconnected? You know? Yeah, exactly. Section 3. Meanwhile, our friends who came from the second universe took special... Wait, did I already read that part? Okay, yeah, I did. Right. Through this biological transformation, the world formed a nutshell in its own constitution and shut its constitution to the cosmic currents, the firmament. Meanwhile, the friends in the second universe gathered these natural reproductions in the world one by one for them not to become extinct and transferred them to many different galaxies. Oh. The atmosphere and gravity putrefies the living beings only in the world. Dimensions outside this are the boundaries of immortality. And you leave the earth and you go to other dimensions. Like I said earlier, we don't die. Section 4. Living beings taken from your planet and brought to different galaxy mediums were taken into the medium of reproduction within the energies of that dimension, androgynous reproduction. By this means, different galaxies of cats, dogs, birds, dinosaurs, etc. formed separately. With the assistance of the friends in the second universe, the evolutionary tableau of their plans were applied to them. Ashe. And here, living beings that completed the evolution of their own plans were brought to your world again. The genes of the living being that perished on your planet as a necessity of the medium were beamed to the medium here when it died. And a different cosmic rays that were godly rays were applied to them. You hear that? When you leave this planet, your soul is beamed to a medium, right, where they're at, and in different cosmic rays that were godly rays are applied to them. These rays are the direct rays of the sons of the second universes. Then those genes were again taken to the world laboratory. Meanwhile, the cat, dog, ape, etc. that attained godly consciousness brought the fetus that was a different species into being. The androgynous reproduction of the mammals began thus. Godly consciousness equals creative power. Section 5. To the lab, yeah. The earth is a laboratory. Like, that's why we're still evolving as the body, at least, and the consciousness of it. Section 5. Later, these fetuses were taken from the raw laboratory and were brought to the second universe, and they were engrafted by our genes and by our essence energies, being programmed in accordance with the direct cosmic consciousness of that medium. The essence energy is our bodily energy. By the fetus which thus came into being, the human race was derived. Did you hear that? Even before the human race, the apes and the dog, etc. And your bodily shape came into existence by our shape. Let us go make man in our image and in our likeness. Ooh, it's funny. I was speaking all these things before I even started reading the book. These species called humankind. This species is called humankind. It's a kind of human. Studies were carried out on fetuses and genes so that the human and the animal races that had come into existence by this androgynous reproduction could be continuous on your planet. And by the sexual perpetuation formula, the female and male factor was brought into being, and the perpetuation of the race was maintained. Heterogamic reproduction. Both the animal and the human species living on your planet that reproduced through this perpetuation of the race had the power of adapting themselves to the natural conditions in their lives. And the power to adapt to the natural conditions. Now, if you have the power to bring down yourself to adapt to a condition, you definitely have a power to change that condition as well. See, let my African accents come in. And certain physical characteristics were transformed within the time processes and have brought into being the families like the carnivores and the herbivores. We make improvements and step off the beaten path, I hope. Always. We don't go backwards. We only go forward. We only progress. We only advance. We only evolve. We don't regress. Otherwise, we would have been extinct if we regressed. Right? The universe is forever expanding, as are we. So we have no choice but to expand. And for us, the expansion is consciousness, right? The scientific research made on your planet are shedding light on you on this path. Section 6. Since the pressure of your atmosphere was not very intense during those periods, the height of humans reached 45 meters. Animals too were big in the same proportion. However, for the convenient perpetuation of the human race, the dinosaur species on your planet were destroyed overnight. The reproducing humans were dying after a certain period of time by losing their energies due to the pressure exerted on the cells by the gravity and the atmosphere. Meanwhile, the essence gene of the dead human was again brought into the second universe, strengthened by different energies, and beamed again to your planet as a fetus. If Missy's here, she's going to say, we don't want to come back. That is, the fetus is a remembrance of God to you. Mother and father feed it. The fetus embodies itself by its essence consciousness. Section 7. The ascension vehicle. Section 7. Meanwhile, changes occurred in the consciousnesses. The power of the creative thought found in the field of action and the evolution of the human began thus. Humankind that possessed godly power by this means multiplied greatly as time went by and began to become dangerous. At that very stage, the need for evolution or evolutionary ordinance and purification was felt. So this tablet was not applied yet. The essence of the fetuses that were taken to different time dimensions of sacred light adapted themselves to the evolution system in accordance with the evolvement consciousness and godly view. The thought frequencies of humankind transcended universes in time and shifted towards the infinite. And they reached the spiritual whole and began to learn one by one those beyond it, those beyond the infinite, those beyond the, where was I? those beyond the spiritual whole. It is necessary to admit that even though all of us are the seeds of the same essence, the being called human is the first being who reached his or her God. That's power. Even us who brought him or her into existence cannot yet enter the dimensions she or he has entered. Bruh. Fascicule 40 something in the page 800s, it touches more on this. The human consciousness that can easily dive into the infinities of the universe at the moment has been taken into the evolutionary plan by a hierarchical order, and during the periods of leaving the world has completed its evolution in accordance with the rules of the system. Like, we're so powerful, they had to kind of box us and give us a certain schooling, because without that schooling, we were like a ticking bomb. That's how dangerous we were based on the energies and the awareness that we had. But the consciousness was different. We were powerful, but the consciousness, we had to go through an evolution for. By the consciousness it has gained in each period of evolution, I just said that, it has been kept here frozen in the archives and has been bestowed on your planet again and again in different time processes as the same essence and as the same gene. I swear my kids are breaking my bedroom apart. Section 8. The fetus bestowed on your planet as veiled awareness is transferred to your planet through numerous incarnations again and again until it attains awareness that has risen to supremacy from the zero evolution of the world to the final evolution of the plan. When it passed through the final evolution cycle of the plan, this fetus was again engrafted here by an essence that had gained an advanced consciousness and was again transferred as programmed to give knowledge. This is how the prophets came about. So once we complete an evolution and we get out, an advanced being's energy is engrafted on us, and then we're sent back as teachers to your planet. Thus, the period of prophethood began. Ooh. Beings who were able to reach this very stage have succeeded in diving into their essence energies in the spiritual plan by claiming their own essences. That's why we say the prophets are elder brothers and stuff, right? You know, the brain energies in those dimensions can even create universes. Bruh, come on, let's change this whole thing right here. Let's change this whole thing that we're all having a problem with, because we shouldn't be having a problem with our own creation. It doesn't make sense. And they can be transferred from those dimensions to other planets or to your world by their own desires without being subject to any system. Section number 9. Now at this stage, let us talk about our collective operations with you. That's the matrix. By a system applied in accordance with the universal ordinance, the enlightening prophets warned you on the path of the single God and brought certain doctrines to your planet. Moses, Jesus Christ, Muhammad came into existence from the universe of light. Their essences are the same. They're the same people in different incarnations. They were transferred to your planet being engrafted with the genes of the second universe. Beiti, Kadre, Mevlana came into existence from the energy of the second universe, and they passed into infinite dimensions with supreme consciousness. As a result of an agreement we signed with them, the essence genes of the final evolution of the world plan of these 6 friends have been kept here frozen until today. And they mentioned what they meant by frozen in upper chapters, upper fascicules, but I forgot. Oh, I wish I remembered to tell you what they mean by frozen. But it's not like frozen in a fridge. I forgot what they meant by it. Maybe it'll come to me. Okay? So, as a result of of an agreement we signed with them, the essence genes of the final evolution of the world plan of these 6 friends have been kept here frozen until today. And during this period of transition from the religious dimension to the universal dimension that we call the period of resurrecting, they have been sown on your planet to assist humanity. Hey, Gloria, soul healer. In the year 1997, we will bring together secretly these 6 supreme friends. However, it is beneficial to explain the following. These supreme consciousnesses have surprised us at the moment by having claimed their own consciousnesses and the bodies of their initial existence. They have found their first mothers and fathers through supreme awareness, and they have accomplished their initial embodiment through birth. We are searching and finding them in many different ways by subjecting them to numerous technological tests, and we are introducing them to society. And these 6s are subject to an examination by this means. You literally have 3 seconds to get upstairs and sleep. 1, 2. All right, and these 6s are subjecting us to an examination by this means. Section, did you question that sense of going back to God or Allah? This is the described reality. Sorry, I don't understand. Were you asking me or somebody else? Did you question the sense of going back to God or Allah? No, actually, for me, I can't wait. Because, like I said, I get bored. And I'm always in search for knowledge. And knowledge is a lot. So, that's why I read so much. And that's how I ended up with the knowledge book. But I can't wait. What is more exciting to know what you don't know? I don't know. But that's blissful for me. It's a feeling. The related feeling. I know, Gloria. She's such an amazing person. She does so much great stuff for me. Love you, Gloria. Section number 10. During this final period, the spiritual, lordly, technological dimensions are hand in hand in a state of mobilization by the command of the unified ordinance. The contemporary foundation of the Golden Age is being laid under the light of the numerous unifications that have signed the Universal Constitution. The knowledge book that will project this universal ordinance on your planet was going to be handed over by the command of the Universal Council to the first hand that would extend up to us. At the moment, it is dear Mevlana who has first extended her hand to us. Our gratitude is infinite to our friend who is the son of humanity. Everyone assembled under the roof of this book will be taken into salvation by the command of our Lord. This is a pledge of God. That message was from the all-peaceful Light Council. Notice to the Mevlana Essence Nucleus Group. This is center above the center. If there's this diagram in the knowledge book and it shows the hierarchy. So there's a center above the center. And it's a group of beings that are advanced and they're very much in charge of communication. The suggestions given to you are being given from the special focal sources of the Golden Age. The actual focusing point of the suns that spring forth from the essence of the entire cosmos is this place. So this is from the center. The actual focusing point of the suns that spring forth from the essence of the entire cosmos is in this place. That's why I said they're much in charge of communication to all the universes. That's why they're center above the center. We are always in contact with you. As a result of the special operations carried out in your focal point, the frequency and the level of consciousness of everyone is being coded one by one. And by this means, steps are being taken forward towards the advanced dimension. Everybody's consciousness is being coded. You're being measured because knowledge is only released when society reaches a certain level. And like if somebody's super high and somebody's super low, it's not gonna work. Like it needs to be on a playing field. Otherwise, if energy is released and is being measured based on somebody's high consciousness, then the other one that has not reached that consciousness is gonna get a explosion. Okay, they're gonna go into shock, a cosmic shock. So we all have to be leveled up. So whenever somebody's exceeding expectation, they literally throw something in their way. Like Robert always gets thrown. Thank you, love. Robert always gets thrown something in his way, and then he has to like whittle down and like calm down and like level up, and then everybody else has to catch up, type of thing. But not just Robert, like other advanced humans, you know. What is it?
Sharif keeps trying to hit me. I'm trying to get Nana and them back to sleep because Sharif and Fatima keep fighting in their room. I'm not playing around.
Do you realize that I'm reading?
Yeah, and that's why I didn't talk because
You are talking. Go away.
Because you asked me a question.
When I go, because you're here. All right, where was I? Sharif, can you leave your sister alone, please?
I didn't hit you for no reason.
Okay, where was I?
Just be quiet and let Mom read her book. She's lying.
Right. Missionaries who will be lined up next to us will be the possessors of genuine consciousness. They are the same body. In the future, we will inform you about the names of certain friends one by one. By the powerful cooperations you will achieve among you, much more powerful group operations will be achieved. From now on, the messages that will be dictated will be clearer and more comprehensible. Your levels of consciousness have reached this level. Hooray! In the messages dictated until today, any change is out of question because everything has been prepared in accordance with the field of application of the plan. This is a system. Friends who do not possess mission consciousness, who neglect their missions, will be rendered ineffective. Other names will be given in their places. In future, we will prepare for you a more authentic, a more comfortable, a more faithful, a more conscious operational system. Every moment, we will be with our missionaries who will see the good results. We will find solutions to their problems, and we will enable them to benefit from this medium in a more responsible, more aware, more conscious, and more productive way. When the time comes, we will assist them to get in contact privately with the friends who work in advanced plans of the solar system. During the coming summer months, there will be special missions allotted to all the group friends. We are connecting special people to each person in accordance with his or her level of consciousness. Everyone will connect with those levels of consciousnesses either by talking or by writing. I'm a talker. You will open up to the west with great speed, and the missionaries in the group will connect with the missionaries of the center abroad. The very foundation of your group will become more strengthened by this means. It is presented for your knowledge. Center above center. General notice, our friends. We have entered a state of intense effort by the unification campaign formed in the entire universe being projected on other plans as well. Sunny days are preparing the morrows. The final boundary of the divine order has been reached. From now on, consciousness and conscience will take place of the divine system. Everyone will attain the truth by reading his or her own book of essence. However, during this period of transition, assistant codes have been taken under supervision by the center. The residents of the Golden Galaxy will give you special knowledge. Happy morrows have been taken far beyond the divine order. It is not easy at all to deserve this dimension. However, such a system has been developed that the wakeful consciousnesses will become friends and lights, deserving here by achieving great progresses of the consciousness by the system. The system is in effect with all its power. It is presented for your knowledge, center above center. Yeah, we're on a machine, man. It is answer to the chains of thought. So when they say energy, it equals atomic whole. When they say atomic whole, it equals godly power. When they say godly power, it means intensified energy in the concrete realm. When they say human, it means, or it equals, the most intense energy of the concrete realm. We're energy, light particles, energy sockets, condensed. We're energy. Man, how can we ever be bound? We can divide the energies of the universes, cosmoses, realms into three, as concrete, abstract, and real energies. Inside these energy whole, there are numerous concrete realms. Your planet is also one of them. The most intense form of the intensified energy of the concrete realm is the cell. Each cell is a mini computer. Oh my God. I was literally saying this before we started reading the book. I wasn't even going to read today. That is crazy. The human on your planet passes to the abstract from the concrete energy in which they are in. And they pass to the real dimension. The real dimension is the essence dimension of the human. The human species has never passed beyond the real dimension until today by any means. This means that no being who exists, sorry, that came out of nowhere. This means that no being who exists in the atomic whole has ever passed into the energetic dimension beyond the bringing into existence and existing energy types. In the operations carried out beyond the atomic whole, we could not find a name for a power unknown until today. That is beyond the spiritual whole. Because this is such a potential that it is not an energy, but it is a power beyond energy. Now the analysis and the synthesis of what this intense medium is are being made. No consciousness can grasp the data obtained from here. This knowledge is not projected anywhere. However, it is given to you only as a crumb of knowledge. It is presented for your knowledge, and that was from the center. Let me see how far off I am. Ooh. I'm going to have to finish this page because the next page is diagrams. That's going to require a lot. The projecting field of the Almighty, the Absolutes. This dot here is the only known source of where the Allah's energy kind of spreads out and fan into all that is like the preeminent, all the hierarchical ordinances and all the universes and all the Gerzes. This is the projecting center from the Allah energy field. And that gate leading to that gate alone is billions and billions of doors to get to that dot. So they don't even know where the Allah source comes from. But for all that exists in creation and all the verses and all the infinites and all the voids to come into being, it comes through that dot and then it fans out. So just imagine what is beyond that dot. We don't even know. We don't even know that dot properly. We don't even know all the billions of gates to that dot. But that dot, anyway, what do they call it? The mechanism of Lords and its operational focal point, the single. Anyway, I'm not there yet. I am on this page, which I'm going to finish. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So the wave of Allah takes form, not gives us form, but takes form, which is all that exists. A tiny particle wave of Allah takes form, and all that is a form. The universes, the cosmos, the Gerzes, the galaxies, dimensions, realms, the preeminent ones, the supreme ones, the center above the center, all the single, the one, is the taking form of the wave of Allah, a tiny wave of Allah, when it takes form, is all that is in existence. Our friends, sorry. All right, so that was from the center. Notice, our friends. In all the groups, energies who enter the golden light year are automatically determined. All the friends are being coded and selected according to their essences within the archives. Unifications are being administered from the center. Energy transfers are opening up everyone's brain codes and are making them reunite with the divine light. Energy transfers are happening like at such a speed. At the moment, Sharif. At the moment, the entire ordinance is in a state of mobilization. The system is making the preparations for entering a different dimension. We are entering a different dimension, y'all. Call it 5D, call it whatever you want. What did she drop? The direct channel of the entire cosmos are being connected to each other. The emissaries of the divine rank who work in the divine stages of the preeminent plan will connect with everyone through the center above the center. So exciting, I know. By this means, the supreme mechanism will call out to you through the special line of the center from time to time. This connection will be provided by a system much more perfectly evolved than the link system. By this means, you'll be brought into contact very easily with all the responsible ones of the supreme mechanism. In this way, we will connect the plan to more advanced systems, and will relay to your planet the knowledge of the advanced dimensions from the special archives. And that was from Center. I think I'm going to leave it there for the day. And ask Source to give me another time or chance to be able to finish this Fascicule 23. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 pages left. You guys want me to go on? Hey, you. There's 5 pages left to finish the Fascicule. Let's finish it up. All right, Gloria. The mechanism of the Lords and the operational focal point, the single. The single projects the hierarchical order, okay? And the hierarchical order reflects on the universal ordinance. And the universal ordinance projects, Munaya, projects this on the evolutionary system, okay? So this is the diagram that we're looking at. You can call the single the center point. So this diagram is a cross-section of the focal point that projects the operational order of the mechanism of the Lords. Remember, we talk about how what we call God and Lord and all those things are just hierarchy. Like a God is responsible for a particular something, and there's many different gods for many different planets, or many different universes have many different gods. And like the God will just represent like the governor of a particular universe. Then there's the Lords, and then there's like the creator is above that. The creator, and then the creator is not even like the Almighty, the Absolute. The creator is a creator for a particular universe. Like there's a creator for the human beings. There's a creator for other different beings that exist. And then there's like gods. So like, yeah, it's a whole thing. But this diagram is a cross-section of the focal point that projects the operational order of the mechanism of the Lords. Okay? So the diagram is a cross-section of the focal point, so a dot, that projects the operational order of the mechanism of the Lords. So the mechanism of the Lords, focal point, projects, right? To comprehend this better, you may assume the above figure as a big girth. Now, a girth contains many universes with many crystal prisms on it. The operational ordinance of the mechanism of the Lord's is single at the center. This reflects on 4 focal points. So, the single, and there's an inner square, 1, 2, 3, 4 focal points. And each focal point also reflects and reflects and reflects and reflects to other focal points. Okay? So, the operational ordinance of the mechanism of the Lord is single at the center. This reflects on 4 focal points, the inner square. They work collectively as a 5-fold ordinance, and they reflect on 8 focal points. And all of them, as 13 focal points, form a whole that is called the single. Secrets within the secret are concealed here in the tablets of God's decrees. Here is the concealed treasure of the Lord. The whole, that is the single, works directly in connection with the all-dominating the absolute. The all-dominating the absolute is another energy being. So there's the all-merciful, the all-truthful, the all-dominating the absolute, the almighty the absolute. Okay? Anyway, the book has more. It is the one that projects the single focal point. So the all-dominating the absolute is the one that projects the single focal point. Okay? And that is a power. And beyond the all-dominating the absolute is another power. This reflects by a prismatic order on the 8 focal points seen on the diagram, and the operational order of the mechanism of the Lord's is projected on the evolutionary dimensions of 9 focal points by a hierarchical order. Remember, we keep talking about the gods and the lords and all that stuff. It's all hierarchy. The mechanism of the Lord's and its emblem, explanation of the emblem. So this is the mechanism of the Lord emblem. It's 2 R's. 1 R here, other R here. R plus R. Now we're going to explain. Is my camera clear? I don't know if it is. Okay. Nothing is single in the universe. This emblem is a representation symbol of the mechanism of the Lord's. Our friends, now we would like to talk to you about the godly order and the mechanism of the Lord's. The Golden Galaxy Empire is a protector of your godly order and are the actual staff members of the mechanism of the Lord's. The Golden Galaxy Empire are staff members of the mechanism of the Lord's. Now, just imagine how big the Golden Galaxy Empire is, and yet they're staff members of the mechanism of the Lord. This is power above power, above power, above power. These are rankings. It is responsible for the ordinance of the entire cosmos. All the galaxy empires under the supervision of the Universal Unification Council are under the supervision of this order. O, with the star, whom we call the Supreme Creator, is an infinite, unlimited energy and is such a powerful potential that until today we have only called him shortly the Almighty, the Absolute, for you to comprehend him easily. O, whom we call the Supreme Creator, not the Creator. The Supreme Creator is an infinite, unlimited energy and is such a powerful potential that until today we have called him shortly the Almighty, the Absolute, for you to comprehend easily. One cannot reach him because O is a potential that becomes intensified as one reaches him. As you get closer, he becomes even bigger, like you cannot comprehend. And even the gate leading to that is billions, and we have hardly even reached the first gate. Okay? So one cannot reach him because O is a potential that becomes intensified as one reaches him, and that can never enter your boundaries of thought. Here we have used the expression energy and potential for O so that you can comprehend. In fact, O is neither an energy nor a potential. He is an essence power whom you cannot comprehend. You cannot grasp, Later explanatory knowledge on this subject will be given. The essence power unified with the energy of the Almighty, the Absolute, and created all the universes, cosmoses, realms, and natural energy. The energy of the Almighty, the Absolute, is a catalyst of the essence power. Remember I said nothing, no number thing? The thing that everything kind of weighs on, or everything sits on, or everything exists in, that cannot be summed up into something. The nothingness. Right. So where was I? All right. Certain natural reactions brought into being the universal potential through transformation. This is accepted as a law of equilibrium. The knowledge we have been giving you and the themes we have been talking about for centuries were for the human of the world to enter into an order in the universal ordinance, for them to grasp the supremacy of the divine plan. For this reason, the Almighty, the Absolute, and his unreachable power were mentioned in all your religious books. All right. Now we will talk to you about the supervision rings of this established order. That is, about the mechanism of lords. First of all, let us explain the emblem of the mechanism of lords drawn above. That was the R. The explanation is as follows. The unification of two lords as a whole creates the seed. Right? Just like the mother and father creates the seed. This is the symbolic shape of the two R's. Two R letters unified back to back, creating the shape of a seed and a root. Each shape is a symbol. Later, the symbols of certain shapes will be explained to you. In the knowledge we have given to you until today, we have used the words Creator, Allah, Lord, God, as if they were all the same. Thank you for the person that sent the roses. I appreciate you. So in the knowledge we have given to you until today, we have used the words Creator, Allah, Lord, God, as if they were the same. Remember we were talking about it earlier? We have also kept the Almighty, the Absolute, separate. But you have always confused them all. Now we are explaining them. The ordinance of graduation of those periods did not require the explanation of the details. So those periods when the prophets were in, it did not require the explanation. In the Bible, it just says God, Lord, and everybody thought, oh, it's the same person. Now they're telling you that it's not. Okay? Now the skies have been opened. We have received the command to notify you of everything in all clarity. The only way out is in, always. Since this explanation would transcend the beliefs, it may seem contradictory to the views under the light of habitual knowledge. Certain consciousness levels may be unable to grasp it. The entire system is in fact is under the supervision of two powers. 1, Creator equals Almighty, the Absolute. 2, Director equals all dominating the Absolute. In fact, the Creator is an essence power energy. Allah is the energy of the Almighty, the Absolute. Allah is the energy, of the Almighty, the Absolute, the energy, the life force of the Almighty, the Absolute. We call the unification of the two the Almighty, the Absolute. Okay, so the two, the essence power and the Creator, they call it combined, they call it the Almighty, the Absolute. That means there's something behind that. There's a power behind that. This is a coming forth of another power that we cannot even comprehend. The powers that we cannot even comprehend God, let alone what? That is Creator plus Allah equals Almighty, the Absolute. It's a formula. Its formula is essence power plus Almighty energy equals Almighty, the Absolute. The unification of the two brings into being the natural energy, the seed. For this reason, the emblem of the mechanism of the Lord signifies the figure, the two R's. This figure is a soul. It is a seed. All living creations come into existence through this unification. Essence, power, and what? Almighty energy equals the Almighty, the Absolute. So we all come into being from this Almighty, the Absolute energy. Okay? So this figure is a soul, a seed. All living creations came into existence through this unification. Almighty, the Absolute is this. The Lord unifies with the energy focal point of the Almighty, the Absolute, and holds under his charge the supervision of the administrative order mechanism of the entire ordinance and governs it. This is the all-dominating the Absolute. Let me read that again. The Lord unifies the energy focal point of the Almighty, the Absolute, and holds under his charge the supervision and the administrative mechanism of the entire ordinance and governs it. This is the all-dominating the Absolute, the director of the energy. Okay, once the energy is unified, there's a director of that energy. That is the all-dominating the Absolute. That is a coming down. The Almighty Absolute, the all-dominating the Absolute. Okay? After this, a Lord and a godly mechanism of the hierarchical cluster of each established order have been projected in accordance with the mediums of consciousness. All the orders are connected to the all-dominating the Absolute. By this means, the mechanism of the Lord is projecting an order connected to the dimension of the Almighty, the Absolute, and on all the realms and cosmoses. So for anything to have a program, a tableau, for anything to have a plan, a mechanism, a system, it comes from the Almighty, the Absolute, is directed by the all-dominating the Absolute. And the Almighty, the Absolute, is an energy, right? By this means, the mechanism of the Lord is projecting an order connected to the dimension of the Almighty, the Absolute. An order on all the realms and cosmoses. Gods and their emissaries conduct this mission. You hear that? So we came from the Almighty energy, went to the Almighty, the Absolute, and now the Almighty, the Absolute, then we went to the all-dominating the Absolute, who's a director, projected it to all the other subsidiaries, and then they come to gods, and their emissaries conduct the mission of that order that has been directed by the all-dominating the Absolute, that was given by the Almighty, the Absolute. The final representative of your reality is Amun. He is the emissary of the world Lord. Did you hear that? Amun-Ra is the emissary of the Lord of the world. Remember how I was talking about the hierarchy? Now we've reached the Lord of this world, and his emissary is Amun. And Amun is the representative of the Golden Galaxy Empire. It is presented for your knowledge, and that was from Center. And we have learned to reconnect to the nets. Oh yeah, we never left. It's just a matter of consciousness. It is knowledge about the Lords. Each fetus is an essence. However, there are differences between the essence gene and the other genes. The essence gene has become an unveiled awareness by attaining the property of developing all the cells up until the final dimension of evolvement. Sharif, you're making noise. Even though all the cells in the body are each a part of the same gene, they live their worlds as veiled awarenesses. Even though all the cells in the body are each a part of the same gene, they live their worlds as veiled awarenesses. Didn't I say, like, our cells don't even know that the other cell is there, but they don't know that they're all packed? Just like our entire planet living our veiled awarenesses, and now we're beginning to know that we're connected. You know, first it was like, oh, we're here, oh, there's heaven, and then oh, there's hell. Now we're realizing that We're not separated. We're like in a spider web of all things. Okay. Even though they are the part of the same whole, they are subject to evolution separately. The common aspect they share is only the fact that they all love humans, animals, and nature. Apart from this, each gene is obliged to complete its evolution separately by means of the self-consciousness and awareness it has gained. These genes can even surpass their essence genes by the effort they make during their life processes. For example, Mevlana's father is an essence gene, but Mevlana transcended him. The structure of each fetus is the same. That is, each essence too is the same. Those essences are the energy particles emitting from the single. You are energy particles emitting from the single. The genes are each a mini computer that enable reproduction and that give the command to adapt to the medium they are in with the universal awareness and the universal consciousness they have gained. By this means, embodiment in accordance with the life of the medium occurs. Apart from this, energies who have transcended mental dimensions and evolutionary rules, apart from this, energies who have transcended mental dimensions by evolutionary rules, that is, by incarnations, can even create universes by their thought frequency, utilizing their own essence power. Oh my God, look at you. Look how beautiful and powerful you are. These very essence powers are the lords of the plans they are in. So you become a lord of the plan in the universe that you have created. That is the Lord. That is the hierarchical order going up. You become a lord of your universe, and it only makes sense. You build a kingdom, you're the king, right? Or queen. All right, where was I? By this means, embodiment in accordance with the life of the medium occurs, right? Apart from this, energies who have transcended the mental dimensions by the evolutionary rules, that is, by incarnations, can even create universes by their own thought frequencies, utilizing their own essence power. Those very essence powers are the lords of the planets they are in. At the moment, the lord of your planet is a world lord. His emissary is Amun. And you have been under, and that's why we pray, we say, Amen, Amun, because he's the emissary of the world lord. He's like the communicator between us and the Lord of this world, right? And you have been under the supervision of the same Lord in every period. Do not confuse the Lord with the Creator. This supervision is nothing but the application to the constitution of a plan functioning in harmony with your universal progresses and with the evolutionary ordinance. The applied order from which all your sacred books have been revealed is this. Re-establish the order. You impair. You destroy it. The duty to build it up again is incumbent upon us. Centuries pass in this way. If they desire supreme consciousnesses who have made their progresses in accordance with the law of evolution and who have dived into the infinite awareness through the final consciousness codes are transferred again to help your planet. Because they create an order and we destroy the order. Apart from this, the administrative plans assist your planet both from the spiritual plan and from the mechanical plan to transfer you to yourselves, to render conscious the unknowns. And these phenomena happen for everything to attain a whole and for enveloping the entire cosmos with love within its essence. This message has been dictated as an answer to chains of thought, and that was from Center. Our friends, now, by the unified reality of an ordinance being established, all the realms and cosmos are being assembled as a whole. All the timelines and all the dimensions are coming into one. For this reason, the mechanical system comes into, well, they were already one, but I guess if there were borders, the borders are being kind of like, scribbled. For this reason, the mechanical system comes into effect and conducts the missions of the intermediaries in between with computers. Meanwhile, by the different communication systems of very advanced technologies, many unknown horizons have been reached. By this means, we converse with you very easily, and we are transmitting the truth we receive the command from the all-dominating, the absolute. Now the Lord is speaking, and if we can reach your brain signals, we are transmitting the knowledge and the commands to you. All the supervision is from the center. We, the residents of the Golden Galaxy, are projecting the unified reality to the cosmoses under the supervision of the advanced order establishes of the celestial ships of numerous galaxies. The final representative of your reality is Amun. We are in contact with you by his directives. The number of the galaxies that have signed the Universal Constitution increases within each passing day. By this means, we step forward towards happy life. The universal mechanism that is the focal point of preparation of the integrated consciousnesses for more advanced plans is the most correct source, relaying to you the knowledge in the most correct way. The universal ordinance and the plan of the supreme consciousness of Allah are included in the application field of this focal point. The divine ordinance and the order are being supervised by the same applied field in all the realms, in all the cosmoses, in all the universes. The sacred light, that is the spiritual mechanism, is the single projecting focal point of the evolutionary ordinance. The ordinance of the Almighty, the Absolute, is being projected on the universes under the supervision of this plan. The supreme plan will make certain suggestions to you before starting operations for the conclusion of the cycle. These suggestions will be warning lights guiding you. However, we will specifically declare these suggestions when the time comes. It is presented for your knowledge. Counsel of the unified reality. Note, the dictated mechanism of the Lords has been transmitted to you as knowledge beyond the gamma. And that is the end of Fascicule 23. Yeah, so much fun stuff to look forward to. That's why I say don't get boggled down by bills and all that unnecessary stuff that don't really exist outside of this dimension. It's just a program. Isn't this knowledge just great? I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, Gloria. You know the baby still uses the blanket you made for her? Like, it's so heavy that, like, when I don't want to sleep with her in my bed, like, I just need... I have, like, so many kids on my bed, but when I put that blanket on her, she feels like I'm sleeping with her. Like, it's so weighted, and she just goes. She doesn't even, like... She just goes. Thank you for the blanket. And it hasn't shrunk. Yeah, it was made with love. Yep. Anyways, I thank you for tuning into my frequency and the frequency of the knowledge book. My book is destroyed, y'all. Lord, have mercy. Oh, what I did. I've moved so much. I'm going to glue it all back. So, make uncomfortable. Oh, sorry, did I miss something? Materials matter. Plastics absorb and dampen. Living cotton and wool charge and sometimes makes uncomfortable. That is true. Love and light, family. I am going to bed. I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. Much love to you too, Excalibur, King Arthur. Night, Gloria, love you. Night, Soul Healer, love you. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. And I'll see you on the other side. Perform some missions there too. All right. Night, everybody.